Next on the agenda is the launch of our dispute resolution at Bombay Chamber website on mediation. The dispute resolution at Bombay Chamber website offers a clear and accessible overview of its institutional mediation and arbitration services aimed at helping businesses resolve conflicts efficiently and professionally. It features essential information on procedures, expert panels, and how to initiate a dispute resolution process. The initiative is led by Ms. Tanu Mehta, Consultant Director of Dispute Resolution at Bombay Chamber. To do the honors, I now invite Mr. Ashok Barat and Mr. Sandeep Khosla, Director General, Bombay Chamber, on the dais. Okay, Mr. Ashok Barat.
Good evening. The event that we have slated for the evening is to launch the web link to our site, which offers a window to the arbitration and mediation services that Bombay Chamber runs. But before I do that, I just wanted to say a few words. Our journey with alternate dispute resolution began several years ago, and we have been running very successfully what was called then an arbitration center, resolution center. Sometime about 12 years ago, before the law came into force, Bombay Chamber at that time had a theme of corporate as a citizen. And our research indicated that one of the biggest issues that was plaguing corporations was the untimely resolution of commercial disputes. And therefore, it started what was then called a Center for Mediation and Conciliation, which is essentially aimed at resolving commercial disputes through a process of amicable resolution. Mediation has several advantages. First and foremost, it is not adversarial. So therefore, even after you have resolved a dispute, your relationship still remains intact. Last but second is that it is not something that creates a winner or a loser. If you don't agree to a settlement, you have the right to walk away. And unless there is a judgment that is required or a point of law to be proved, at the end of the day, businessmen are looking for resolving their problems and not really making a point which will be quoted in textbooks later. So we started this Center for Mediation and Conciliation, and I must say that we have been modestly successful. The Bombay Chamber played a very important role in participating with the government in designing and the Mediation Act of 2022. It's rather unfortunate, though the law has been enacted, the rules have not come into force, but we have been a party to the drafting of the law and also the rules thereafter. But hopefully in the near future, we will be able to have those rules in place. Nevertheless, Bombay Chamber now has combined both of them into an alternate dispute resolution center, which offers members and non-members to approach the chamber to resolve their disputes through arbitration, where a judgment is required, or mediation, where a settlement is required. And the advantages of going through a Bombay Chamber is that it's a neutral institution, which has a pedigree and a legacy and a reputation. And more importantly, it offers a platform where it is not only lawyers who are involved. Several disputes require a deep understanding of business and led by people who have been experienced in resolving similar situations in their career. So therefore, they bring a certain degree of empathy and understanding to the whole process of settlement in a completely dispassionate manner. And therefore, a lot of companies, and particularly small and medium enterprises, who find the court system too onerous, tedious, expensive, and time-consuming, they are more interested in settling the disputes and moving on, approaching us. We also offer dispute resolution to the High Court of Mumbai and Goa, Bombay, Maharashtra and Goa, as a court-annexed mediation center. So I would like you to circulate this fact, disseminate this fact as widely as you can to your members and friends who are in business. If at any point of time I don't wish that it should ever happen. In fact, in the state that I come from, UP, one of the biggest curses that you can give to anybody is say, "Tumhare ghar mein vakil ghuse." So, so that is the kind of things that, so we don't want you to be a victim of any dispute, but should you have any, please feel free to approach the Bombay Chamber. We would be happy to resolve it in a timely, very economic way and in the best interest of both the parties involved. So may I now request Pinky Mehta, Mr. Rajiv Anand and Sudhanshu to join me on the stage to launch this portal. Ma'am, you have to do the honors. But just clicking here. This is an interactive portal. It has a page which says contact us. If you have any need, you just fill that up, and somebody from the Mediation Center or the Alternate Dispute Resolution Center will get in touch with you, understand your problem, and try and help you resolve it. So thank you very much for supporting this, and I hope to have your encouragement and participation. Thank you.
A huge round of applause for that. As we come to the end of our proceedings tonight, I request Mr. Sudhanshu Vats, Senior Vice President Designate, Bombay Chamber, Managing Director, Pidilite Industries, to present the vote of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, Shri BVR Subramaniam, board members, past presidents, members of the chambers, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed my honor and privilege today evening to deliver the vote of thanks to this august gathering after a very, very insightful and energizing evening. Let me first start by thanking Shri BVR Subramaniam. I think I've had the privilege of listening to him a couple of times over, so this is not the first time. But each time when I listen to him, I really get energized. And I think this comes from, and one of our past presidents, Pradeep sir, you actually did half the job of thanking him, but I'll build on this a little bit. I think where it comes from is there are 4 things he brings to table every time. His passion, his positivity, his pragmatism. I'm saying, which is again, sometimes with people who are very positive and passionate, sometimes lack pragmatism, and he sort of strengthens that, and that's what makes him unique, and of course, his purpose. And in the talk today, you saw all of that. You saw the passion, you saw the positivity, you saw pragmatism, recognizing that we are here and we need to do more, and of course, purpose, always led with purpose. I think, all Viksit Bharat thing you talked about, Shri Subramaniam, I think it resonated a lot with the report we also, Bombay Chambers did with Artha Global. And many of the things you said there, we've also tried to capture in our own way. I really liked your point on diversity, about women workforce. And I was reminded of one of the points we had raised in that report, where we said that if we do one simple thing in India, which is get all the women who are educated and have chosen to not continue to work back into the workforce, that will impact the growth by 1.5 or 150 basis points for India. So I think, like you'd shared that statistic, I thought one I should perhaps point out, because I was really inspired by your thinking in that area and everything you talked about on Viksit Bharat. I also want to take this opportunity to thank you and your encouragement to our incoming president, Sri Rajiv Anand, but also on how we can, for Bombay, do things which are for Bombay, but also for India. And the work which Niti has done, we will build on that. We will build on the entire thinking you've done there. Thank you for sharing that with us. There is only one place I disagreed with you. And that was a place where you said, I'm not a wise man. That is entirely incorrect. You are indeed a very wise man. You chose not to talk about the future, and perhaps you're not a soothsayer or a magician, and then therefore that was indeed, again, a very wise move not to talk about that. Thank you very much. Thank you for gracing the occasion of Bombay Chambers, and for a very insightful and energizing talk for us on our 189th this thing. I will now move to thanking Pinky. Pinky Mehta, our outgoing president, as Rajiv rightly pointed out, is only the third woman president of the Bombay Chamber. But I think in her entire tenure, so you know the way she basically talked about the number of activities we were able to pack in this 1 year, talks to her energy, her commitment, and her own passion, the way she brings it, and also her candor. So when you work with Pinky, you realize she brings these traits which have actually led to accelerating the agenda of Bombay Chambers and making Bombay Chamber and strengthening Bombay Chamber's relevance as we go forward, and something which we need to build on. Thank you very much for that, Pinky, and thank you for sharing everything of all the work which we've done. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your tenure, and we will continue to build on that. And of course, your Vice Counsel will always be available to us. Thank you. I now want to move to, what Rajiv talked about, and I think what I was really inspired was by the 3 I's, the innovation, inclusion, and impact, and the clear 5-point agenda with reasonable level of detail in each of those agendas as well, as he set out his mission. And that was very, very encouraging and energizing for me. I assure you, Rajiv, that I will partner you as we move forward in this. Thank you for laying out that mission. Thank you for spelling it very well. And thank you for remaining on these areas of innovation, inclusion, and impact. I think that's going to make a difference. And what Sri Subramaniam talked about, I think how we build Bombay Chamber, first and foremost from Mumbai, there are a lot of thoughts which can further strengthen our thinking. They're perhaps in this line already. Thank you very much. Thank you for laying out that mission so clearly. I also want to take a quick moment to thank Ashok Barat for basically continuing to be a mentor to Bombay Chamber, continuing to be associated with the Chamber, and to be so sincerely and being committed in developing this. And the initiative which you've launched on, and which we've just launched today on dispute resolution, is indeed a very important initiative. I personally feel most things in the world should be tackled through dialogue. And although it is not the flavor of the world we live in today, but indeed I think dialogue has a very important role to play in everything which we do. I think, and this is a pioneering initiative, finding that dispute resolution through mediation, dialogue, and if needs, arbitration, and also offering that window. And I think this will be a big service to MSMEs, something which we talked about. So thank you for that initiative. Thank you, Ashok, and thank you for everything. I think I will be, short if I don't comment the work which Sandeep Khosla and the entire BCCI team does. Big round of applause for them. Everything which we do, these are the people who make us look good. This is all the work which we have seen has happened through this thing. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you to our team at BCCI. I think we will continue. We need to keep accelerating the pace at which we are working, but I'm sure with this team, we will be able to do that. And lastly, to all of you for being a wonderful audience today. Big round of applause for all of you. And it's indeed my pleasure to take this opportunity to also invite you for a cocktail and dinner which is waiting. And do join us for cocktail and dinner. We look forward to, continuing to hear from you. We look forward to even greater conversations as the evening progresses. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Ms. Vats, and we come to the end of an eventful day. Please join us for dinner and cocktails, and have a great evening. Here's to another great year for Bombay Chamber.